Hi everyone, I'm Louisa.
Hi everyone, I'm Jean-Sébastien.
So it's pretty cool. Two Frenchies sent by the French tech to speak English in Sofia.
Yes, actually I just arrived from Paris. I'm a bit jet lagged, just kidding.
So today we're going to talk about chatbots. Chatbots are dead, long live chatbots. What is a chatbot?
Yes, what is a chatbot? I think you had a good definition when we were talking
about
together. Yes.
Okay, the easiest definition I have is that a chatbot is a robot with who you chat. Chatbot.
Yes, and so the big question is why chatbots? Why are we talking about that? But before, who heard about chatbot here? Please, raise your hand. Wow. Wow, that's a lot. Yeah, awesome.
Who's already used a chatbot?
Oh.
Pretty cool.
Cool.
Okay.
Awesome.
So when did chatbots start? What's the story behind it?
Yeah, actually, a chatbot is, well, the big vibe that is starting now started actually in China. I don't know if you heard about WeChat, which is kind of the messenger, Facebook Messenger in China. And there, they plugged a lot of services. Like China is really, and WeChat is really exploding in China. Actually, right now, there is more, every day there is more chatbots that are launched on WeChat than there is websites that are launched on the web in China. So literally, WeChat is the new web in China.
You can even get a mortgage on WeChat.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, you have some good other good example of chatbots.
You can get, you can find pet care. You can literally you can do anything within one single app. But it came to Europe and the rest of the world with Facebook mainly, no?
Yeah, absolutely. And Facebook launched actually Messenger platform a year ago, David Marcus, during the F8. And actually, they said, OK, why are we going to launch chatbot? And the pitch was very simple. First, almost nobody is downloading apps anymore. Like in the US, last year, more than 50% of people who got a smartphone didn't download an application. That's kind of crazy.
Scary.
A second point is about the Messenger, right? Messenger platforms are really taking off, right?
Messenger already has 1.2 billion users, so people are already using it. So why not be plugged, develop your app, but being plugged on Messenger?
Yes, actually we spend more and more time on messaging apps, like you might know WhatsApp, Messenger, of course, Snapchat,
Telegram.
and Kik, also for teens in the US. And actually, chatbots have big advantages when you think about it compared to applications. First, they are extremely frictionless. You don't need to download anything. You just search on your Messenger app, for instance, Peter or Citron, for instance. Then you don't have, so you don't have any download. You don't have any sign up because you use the sign up of your messaging app. So if you're logged on Facebook, you are really, immediately you can use the service. And third, you don't need to learn any new user interface. You know how to chat with a friend, so you know how to chat with a bot, so you know how to use any service. And that's a big advantage compared to applications.
Also, Facebook has made it really easy to develop a bot and, in terms of formats, to be on the bot store.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, we're in Sofia. What else do you do during the rest of your life except come to Sofia?
Yeah, let's talk about a bit of our story. So, I'm going to try to give you the whole picture of Peter, the chatbot that I launched with Stéphane, Jérémy, and Laurent in France. So it started like a year ago, actually, exactly when Facebook launched the Messenger platform during the F8. We said, oh, wow, we could build a chatbot on Messenger. What should we do? And we thought about, oh, who is using most Messenger, especially in France right now? And it was teens. And we thought, oh, what problem we had when we were teens? And actually, we said, oh, we hated homework. So basically, it's really funny. We just launched a page. We coded nothing. We code nothing. And just the value proposition was, just send your homework to Peter, and Peter is going to do it for you. I sent the page to my cousin, and in a week, we had more than 200 students from his high school that were using our chatbot, just asking for help from Peter. So from there, we said, OK, wow, we have attraction here. So now we have to deliver a service. And so we decided at first to plug on the other side real tutors. So we went on Le Bon Coin, which is a website where you can ask people to do stuff. And we started to hire students that were between 21 and 28 and said, OK, do you want to help some students? You are paid, they were paid like between 5 and 10 euros per hour. And you can help any student anytime in any subject. And so a student could come on our chatbot, on Peter, and say, hey, Peter, here I got that exercise in mathematics. Here's a picture. Can you help me with that? And then, like Uber, we were notifying a batch of tutors we had, said, hey, Laurent needs your help in mathematics. Are you free to help? And they would click yes, and then we plugged them together directly in the conversation with the chatbot, and they could be helped right away. So it was really good. Like, we launched that service in November. In December, we had like 1,000 students already using the service. And because we had so much students and we couldn't hire as many tutors actually as fast, we decided to put in place a waiting list. And with a simple sentence that was saying, hey, if you want to jump in the waiting list, just share with your friends, and you win 1,000 places in the queue, actually. And something completely crazy happened. In 48 hours, we went from 1,000 users to 100K. That's like such a huge peak. I don't have the graph here, but it is a crazy peak. And that kind of acquisition that was completely free, completely viral by our users, only can happen, I think, on Messenger platform, because it is so frictionless to share something on Messenger and to get new user service. And so I think that's one of the big advantages of chatbots, and that's one of the big story we are spreading around about Peter and the big advantage of that. What is Citron? Limon?
So my story is totally different. We started off being an app, thinking, how do you easily find a place that matches both your desires and your geolocation? And so we figured that the main thing, the best thing, was a friend. To ask a friend who knows you, who knows the place, but this friend needs to be available at any time of the day and night. So we started off creating an app where everybody could create their own maps and share them with friends. We made a prototype, and first roundtables, nobody wanted it. So huge shock. We'd been working on it. We'd been really motivated, thinking this is going to be amazing, it's going to be crazy, blah, blah. And nobody wanted it because nobody wants to download an app. No more storage, no more space. And people want to make the most of other people's places without ever having for them to enter their own places. So that was last June. So we were like, OK, what are we going to do now with our lives? 3 of us, so with Julien and Robin, both tech co-founders. And we started playing Pokemon Go, probably like most of you here. And we launched a Pokebot, a chatbot on Pokemon that would recommend the closest Pokemons, the rarest, with the time left to go and get them, and then a Go button, which would open up Google Maps so that you go fastest as possible to go and get them. People went crazy. Within a couple of days, we had 1 demand per minute everywhere around the world, Brazil, Canada, amazing. But we knew this was like a side project. We knew this was a phenomenon that was not going to last long. So we decided to apply this technology to our main problem, which was finding a place easily. And so we launched Citron 7 months ago, spent 6 weeks just testing it with 100 users, and now we've got about 60,000 users using it on a regular basis, and still working on it to make it better and better. So we've developed our own database, and we've developed all these kind of things. And so we really went from this app to bot, and we're seeing how it's going. We're learning a lot. And Facebook, you kind of said it also, Facebook is adapting constantly to these bots, and they're working with us because they are also adapting and creating their platform, and we're kind of like the early developers creating it on their platform.
Yes, we are one of them.
Exactly. So what we're going to do is take a couple of sentences that we've heard all the time, and we're going to show you that they're wrong. Chatbots are stupid.
Yeah, that's the hardest one. But yeah, are chatbots stupid? And that's a good question. And I think we have really two different points of view on that subject with Louisa. So personally, I think that chatbots are stupid. I don't believe that even if today we speak a lot about AIs, you heard Elon Musk that said in 30 years,
2030.
Well, yeah, in 2030, yeah, like AI will beat humans at everything, and he might be right. But today AI and especially natural language processing isn't that good. And actually, when we started to think about the experience of Peter, we had a free text format. Like you could say to Peter, "Hey, Peter, help me in mathematics," for instance. But sometimes students could ask something else or spell wrong the sentence. And the speech recognition wouldn't work at 100%. But when it doesn't work, it provokes something like the user can be rapidly lost, and he can drop out from your service. So that was a big problem. So that's why we decided to do a radical change on that. And we decided to have an experience which is 100% menu-driven. What I mean by that is when you start talking with Peter, you will always have suggestion responses, like button you can pick on. Like if you say, "Okay, Peter, I need help." Okay, which subject? And you have a button mathematics, a button French, a button English, a button physics, and he click on it. And then when Peter says, "Okay, don't move, I'm coming back with someone to help you." And yeah, so basically, I think that chatbots are stupid for now. But,
Okay, whereas I don't.
Louisa, don't.
Okay, we've been working a lot on the natural language processing, which is translating the language and understanding what people want. And this also drives the product. So for example, people are going to tell us what they want. They're going to tell us, "Okay, I want a cinema." So we're going to be able to develop cinemas. "I want this." And so we're actually, users are telling us what they want, and we can then implement it. And so I believe a chatbot is stupid when it launches. It's based on the rule that if this, then that. If this word is used, if this action is done, then this happens. But it becomes intelligent thanks to data, thanks to users. So I know today we've got over 700,000 messages that are exchanged, so it's becoming intelligent because it understands a certain amount of data, because it's becoming intelligent, and that's kind of the learning curve is constantly, so the more the chatbot is used, the more it's going to learn, the more intelligent it's going to become. That's kind of our vision, which is, I guess, totally different.
Yeah, but I agree that I think that a layer of artificial intelligence can be put on the experience of your chatbot and really augment it and make it way better. But I don't think that the value proposition of your chatbot should be like just based on natural language processes. I think we might be there sometime. We don't know why, but we are not there yet. And so you need to bring value through a real problem-solving solution. So.
Also, NLP is pretty well done up because it's mainly open source. It's been bought a couple of years ago by Google, by Facebook. You have 5 options. All 5 exist, and they're all free. So it's great. I mean, why don't you agree? Why don't you implement it?
And you see, it's really fun because you have a chatbot, which is, I think there is 2 families of chatbots, actually.
The stupid ones and the intelligent ones, no?
Not exactly, but it could be that. But I think there is the chatbots that are trying to solve a problem that are really like a feature. Like, I need to find a restaurant. Like, it could be a map, it could be a book that helps you with that, okay? It's an object. So you are solving a problem that was solved by an object through a chatbot. So you need to get there as fast as possible. With Peter, we do it a different way because we are talking about tutoring. And tutoring is a very human thing. When you want to help someone on an exercise in mathematics, or you want to teach someone something new, you need a human. And our chatbot is really playing the role of connecting the 2 persons as fast as possible. And today, long story short, we pivoted, and today we are making students work together. And so, and the goal of our chatbot is really to get the time when you ask for help as low, as short as possible. Today, when you ask for help in any subject, we can find someone, and today another student, that is ready to help you in less than 1 minute. And so that's where the magic is with the chatbot. But the magic of your help, the value proposition, the person that's going to help you, is a human on the other side. And that's where we have really two different kind of chatbot. I don't mean there is one better than the other. It's just two different species of chatbots.
So NLP is going to be necessary to some chatbots and not to others. But then bots are becoming more and more like apps with a tree, with a decision tree.
Yeah.
How do you make that different?
Yeah, there is really something about apps, and there is a great talk from Ted Livingston, the founder and CEO of Kik, which is a crazy messaging application in the US. And he said, hey, you know what? The big advantages of chatbot are really it's frictionless. And could we deliver app experiences through chatbots? In the other way, like the App Store would be, all the apps in the App Store would be simply plugged in your Messenger, and you would just avoid the sign up, the download, and the new UI thing to learn. And that's a big advantage. So and today we are trying, I think you do the same with Citron. We have a lot of web views that we can pop in the, we can make pop in the...
What's a web view? Maybe if we explain. So it's like a web page that opens up within the bot. So when you close the web page, you're still chatting with the robot.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can have a way richer experience with your chatbot. So it's not only text and button you can tap. You can, for instance, show a map. You can show a profile. You can show a ranking. So it's really increase the value of chatbots. And I think it's really great, like that fusion between chat and application in a very simple format in Messenger is great.
And people actually want to have their own profile. Like, so we're around places. People want to, I don't know, save their favorite places, save the places they'd like to try. They want to save all these kind of things. And so they want to have their own profile. And that's where we're going towards apps within bots. That's kind of the scary...
Yeah, that's crazy. We don't know where it's going, actually, but it's a lot of fun, right?
True. So what are the challenges for chatbots?
Wow.
A lot of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Like, first of all, this is a question I asked in the plane while thinking about what we could talk about. I was wondering, does the transition, like we saw on the web, for instance, where there was a personal computer, you have software directly on your computer, and when the web came, you could use, for instance, a map, you could use a dictionary on the web directly, an encyclopedia, like on the web, Wikipedia. And so the big advantage from the software which was on your computer and on the web is, once again, the frictionless experience. You can download, you can load any experience, any app instantly with the web, and that is great.
But it's a problem.
Why?
Because it's made so easy to use a chatbot. No account, no downloading, so it's not very engaging to use a chatbot.
Yeah.
So then how do you make people come back? Because it's not engaging. If it's engaging, if you have to create an account on a website, I know you're buying something, you have to create your own account, put in your credit card, then you're going to go back and use it because you've already done that big step. Yeah. Whereas for chatbots, it isn't the case. So the main challenge for chatbots today is retention. How do you get people to come back? And there are amazing chatbots that have hundreds of thousands of users, but nobody who comes back. And that's kind of the main challenge, I think, for chatbots today.
And that's that big question. Can we get people away from apps and get them into chatbots? And once they are there, how do we keep them staying? And that's the big challenge. I think we can maybe share a bit about our own story on that. Like with Peter, we had a lot of work. We had to implement like 3 big features, which was virtual money for our users that trade hearts actually to get engagement around the product. It was moderation, and it was schedules. You schedules when you are going to work with your chatbot, and he's going to introduce someone else. And today we are seeing really power users. And we are seeing we have 50% of our power users that come back on a 4-week timeline. So it's starting to be good. But it wasn't easy, like. And we are on teens, and teens are really the person, I think, the target that is the easiest to convert to chatbot.
We had the same challenge. We realized that 45% of our users come back in week 10 if they have been to a place recommended. So we realized that our recommendation had to be amazing. We'd spent a lot of time designing the conversation, making it the most natural possible, but we actually realized the key point was the recommendation we're making. That's where we created our own database that we categorized. It's where we work with influencers, ambassadors that are food lovers, bar lovers, that add places, I think, constantly. Maybe there's one last question that I'm being told all the time. Who actually uses a chatbot?
That's a great question. What's your answer on that?
I guess both of us have got a couple of thousands or tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of users. So people are using it.
Yes.
But is it like a trend or is it a long-term thing?
Yeah, it's extremely long question, and in 17 seconds, I don't think we've got time to answer it. But yeah, when you see about how the GAFA, Google, Apple, Facebook, Amazon are thinking about their strategy and putting AI at the core of their vision, when you see that we are starting to talk with a Google Home, with your Siri and all that stuff, I think that voice chatbot could be the way to prepare to the next generation of hardware and software, which could be and the new user interface. Maybe tomorrow we will interact more and more with voice, and chatbots are a step necessary to get there, actually. So it might be a transition to something
totally
even greater.
I just conclude with, as it was said this morning with the bean coins, technological advances have this phase of euphoria. So I believe we're in it at the moment with chatbots that are buzzwords. Obviously, it's going to decline a bit, but we do believe, both of us, it's something to stay because it brings a real solution to real problems. Thank you very much.
Thank you.